నమస్తే BSE-SME హెడ్ శ్రీ అజయ్ ఠాకూర్తో ప్రత్యేక చర్చకు స్వాగతం. స్మాల్ అండ్ మీడియం ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్ లేదా చిన్న మధ్య తరహా సంస్థలు మన దేశంలో లక్షల సంఖ్యలో ఉన్నాయి. ఈ సంస్థలన్నింటికీ అవసరమైన నిధులు, రుణాలు లేదా ఈక్విటీ రూపంలో సమకూర్చుకోవాల్సిందే. ఈక్విటీ రూపంలో డబ్బు సమకూర్చుకోవాలంటే ఇన్వెస్టర్లు ఆ సంస్థ లిస్టెడ్ కంపెనీ అవునా కాదా అన్న అంశాన్ని గమనిస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో స్మాల్ అండ్ మీడియం ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్కి బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్స్ వీక్గా ఉంటాయి, బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్స్ తక్కువ పరిమాణంలో ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి లిస్టింగ్ కష్టతరం అవుతుంది. ఈ కష్టాన్ని తీర్చేందుకే బొంబాయి స్టాక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ లేదా BSE ప్రత్యేకించి SMEల కోసం 5 ఏళ్ల క్రితం ఒక ప్లాట్ఫామ్ క్రియేట్ చేసింది. ఫలితంగా ఇప్పుడు చిన్న చితక సంస్థలకు కూడా స్టాక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ లిస్టింగ్ సులభతరం అయింది. ఈ ఏడాదిలోనే మే ఆఖరు వరకు 44 కంపెనీలు BSE-SMEలో లిస్ట్ అయ్యాయి. మరిన్ని కంపెనీలు ఈ విభాగంలో లిస్ట్ అయ్యేందుకు పరుగులు తీస్తున్నాయి. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో BSE-SME హెడ్ అజయ్ ఠాకూర్ TV5 స్టూడియోకి విచ్చేశారు. ఆయన అడిగి SME ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో లిస్ట్ కావాలంటే అసలు ఎటువంటి విధి విధానాలు పాటించాలి, లిస్టింగ్ వలన SMEలకు ఎటువంటి ప్రయోజనాలు చేకూరుతాయి తదితర అంశాలు మాట్లాడదాం. నమస్తే అజయ్ ఠాకూర్జీ.
నమస్తే.
సో థ్యాంక్ యూ అండ్ వెల్కమ్ టు TV5 స్టూడియోస్.
Thanks.
So first of all, congrats to you because there are many achievements for the BSE-SME platform over the last 5-6 years. So 200, you are reaching the 200 listing mark very soon. I think now you are 183.
Yes.
And your IPO index has gained more than the BSE, your parent exchange IPO index in terms of returns. So what made you achieve all these things and what are the driving factors?
In fact, if you see BSE was the first organization to create equity culture in India. And we have helped many companies to transform from a small company or medium company to a large corporate or blue chip company. We were knowing that small and medium companies are the backbone of the economy, and if we have to achieve double-digit GDP, then we have to ensure that these SMEs should get equity financing also, and at the same time have visibility. Okay, and a lot of transparency and corporate governance should also come into the company, which should increase the credibility of the promoters. And of course, then there will be a inclusive growth, not from the company and the promoters perspective, but also from the investor side. So that was the major reason and the driving force for BSE to start this SME exchange. In fact, there are many small and medium industrial associations who have approached to Prime Minister. And they have requested that there should be a separate stock exchange for these small and medium companies, whereby they can raise funds in a very cost-effective manner. And in 2010, Prime Minister has created a Prime Minister Task Force, and which has recommended that there should be a separate SME platform. And accordingly, SEBI has come out with the rules and regulations on 18th May 2010 and requested the stock exchanges to start this SME platform and apply to them. And accordingly, BSE became the first organization to apply to SEBI, seeking in principle approval to launch this SME exchange. And we have got this approval on 26 September 2011.
Okay.
And we became the first stock exchange in India to start this SME exchange on 13th March 2012.
No.
So almost 5 years have
more
passed.
than 5 years.
Yeah.
Just.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have just completed 5 years. And these 5 years, of course, it was a very difficult journey, very tough journey. But we have been able to list 183 companies. And these 183 companies have raised almost 1,500 crores rupees.
So earlier there was another exchange called OTCI,
Right.
so over the counter exchange of India. That has failed miserably.
Right.
So where was the failure of OTCI and what are the factors behind the success of BSE-SME?
See, OTCI was little bit ahead of its time. Okay. If you see, the infrastructure were not as such. The shares were being traded in demat form, and even after that we have seen the economy slowing down, and many of the small companies started failing, and that has become the reason for OTCI failure also.
Okay.
People were not understanding that how these shares are being traded in demat form. Even the infrastructure were not so good, whereby they can help in online trading. So those were the reasons of OTCI failure, and that was also the legacy for us, where people were not believing that this SME exchange, which has the guidelines similar to OTCI, may succeed.
Okay.
So, of course, it was a very challenging job having OTCI in the backdrop, but yes, we have worked hard, we have bring all the stakeholders inside, and today we are
So what
successful.
is the total market capitalization of these 183 companies put together now?
It is almost 19,000 crores.
90,000 crores.
Yes.
So some of them, by going their track record, some of them are giving very good returns to the investors. And at a time when the interest rates are coming down so drastically, they are expected to come down further. So why should one go for equity financing? Because equity is thought of as an expensive capital compared to debt.
It's other way around. You know, if you see, equity financing is the mother of all funds. Even the promoter who is putting his own funds, that is called paid up capital fund, it is also equity. But everything, you know, there are only two type of funds. One is called equity, another is debt funds.
Yeah.
Almost promoters all have leveraged debt funds. But over leveraging of any type of fund is, you know, is going to create problem for the companies and may stress the balance sheet. So it's always better to use both debt and equity funds for the progress of the company, whether the interest rate is low or it's high.
So in financial parlance,
so in financial parlance, I think that equity is the best route. Even if we see all the companies which have become the large corporates, it's also because of equity financing.
True.
Okay, and at the same time, it's because it gives exposure to the promoters, to a large stakeholders, investors, and many people start understanding the company. Another thing is that debt is always not so easy to service, okay, when the economy has slowed down. Okay. So, at that point of time, it is not possible to service debt. So, if there is a equity component or a good mixture of equity and debt, then it will be very good for the company to progress fast. Okay. So, I think both debt and equity are you know, two wheels of the company. If so one has to move fast, then they have to leverage both equity and debt.
So, companies need both the
it should be mix of debt and equity.
Mix of debt and equity. Yes. So, what is the process like? How should the SMEs approach you? What should they do before approaching you? What are the prerequisites like?
See, we have 3 prerequisites, and SEBI has also have some rules and regulations here. What SEBI rules and regulations says that any company whose post-issue paid up capital is up to 10 crores, they have to compulsory get listed onto the SME platform. And
less than
10 crores.
Okay.
If the post-issue paid up capital is between 10 to 25 crores, then they have the option either they can get listed on the SME platform or on the main exchange. Okay. And if the post-issue paid up capital is beyond 25 crores, okay, then they have to get listed onto the main board. Other thing is that even if the company's post-issue paid up capital is between 10 to 25 crores, but their operating profit is less than 15 crores for 3 years out of 5 years, they can't get listed on the main board of the stock exchange. So then the option left is only SME platform. So these are the guidelines.
Is there any minimum requirement? Like
there is no minimum requirement as far as SEBI guidelines is concerned. But
so
we have
if a company has got a 1 crore paid up capital?
No, so we have kept some eligibility criteria from the exchange side. What we said that any company who desires to get listed onto the SME exchange, they should have minimum post-issue paid up capital of 3 crores.
3 crores.
Minimum net worth of 3 crores, 2 years of profit, and 3 crores of net tangible assets.
Okay.
So if any company is meeting these 3 financial eligibility
tangible
criteria,
assets means the
fixed assets, inventory, and receivables, all those things together.
So service sector companies can't.
No, service sector companies also come. Say for example, they might have receivables.
Okay.
So the balance sheet needs to be looked into, and any service sector companies got listed onto the SME exchange on our SME platform. Okay. So once the balance sheets are being seen, sometimes the merchant bankers also guide the companies how to create a balance sheet, how to make the balance sheet. And if those things are being done by the promoter or their charter accountants, the companies can get listed onto the SME platform.
So they need to approach a merchant banker. Is it a must requirement?
Merchant banker is the must must here onto the both on the SME platform and the stock exchange. Anybody who wants to get listed on the stock exchange, they have to approach to the merchant banker only, because they are the regulated entity, and we want that regulated entity should only work as an intermediary onto the stock exchange. Okay. So a company has to approach to the merchant banker. Even if they are unable to locate any merchant banker, they can directly call us. We provide our contact details on our website, that is BSE-SME.com. At the same time, the brochures that we are sending to the promoters, there also we mention the contact details. Besides that, anybody can contact us on our email ID, and accordingly we act as a facilitator to those companies to approach to the merchant bankers, or we will send the contact details of the promoters or the companies to the merchant bankers, so that merchant bankers can contact them and take it forward.
Okay. So, minimum paid up capital, post issue paid up capital should be 3 crores. And
net worth should be 3 crores, 2 years profit. In case the company does not have a profit of for 2 years out of 3 years in existence, then their net worth should be minimum 5 crores.
Oh, so even if it's a loss making company?
It's a loss making company, but the net worth is 5 crores, or if they have got only 1 year of balance sheet,
okay,
but their net worth is 5 crores, then they can also come and get listed onto the SME platform.
Okay. So, what is the profile like out of these 183 companies that got listed on your exchange? What is the profile like? Which sector is sending more companies for listing?
See, we have got companies from almost 28 sectors. We have companies from manufacturing sector, we have from services, we have got from hospitality, real estate, paper industries, pharma companies. So, we have mix of almost all sector companies which got listed on our SME platform. But maximum companies are coming from manufacturing. Yes.
So, but the economy is moving more towards the service economy. So, I think more and more services sector companies also should participate in this.
They should participate, and that's the reason if you see from the day of launching our SME platform till today, we have done more than 900 seminars. We have made 18,000 promoters, and they all have got different profiles. So, we are trying to convince them. It's a very difficult journey from the day we have started this SME exchange. But at last, it's the promoters who have to take a step forward. But we are trying to convince them.
Okay. And what is IPO process like? So, once they appointed the merchant banker, filed the prospectus with you, then how is
see, the step is like this. The promoter has to appoint a merchant banker. Merchant banker sign a mandate. And from there, the merchant banker starts the process, taking the documents, doing the due diligence process. And after that, a prospectus gets ready. We call it DRHP, draft red herring prospectus. That prospectus needs to be submitted with the stock exchange. A stock exchange does the vetting of the documents. If something is missing, they inform the merchant bankers. After that, we send one person for the site visit of the company, trying to see that everything is in place or not. And after the site visit, we call the promoter for an interview. We have got listing advisory committee who takes the interview of the promoter, try to understand their businesses and the way forward. And after that, our listing advisory committee gives the recommendation. Based on that recommendation, there is another committee in BSE called internal listing committee. Internal listing committee gives the approval. It is called in principle approval. After that, the merchant banker and the promoter has to file the prospectus with the registrar of the company. After getting the approval, they give the advertisement in the newspaper, the date of opening the prospectus. The issue has to remain open minimum for 3 days and maximum for 10 days. Now, here in SME platform, the issue needs to be 100% underwritten by the merchant banker. Okay. So, there are 3-4 points which has been included in this SME platform. Some few guidelines are there. Number one is this issue needs to be 100% underwritten by the merchant bankers, so that if the issue gets opened, there should no way it gets devolved. Okay. It must get listed onto the stock exchange. Even if they got subscribed 50%, the rest 50% responsibility is of the merchant banker. Second concept that has been introduced here is of the lot size. So, minimum investment is of rupees 1 lakh. So, if a company is coming out with a issue price of 50 rupees, then the lot size will be 2000. So, if anyone has to invest in this company in the IPO, they have to invest in minimum 2000 shares or multiple thereof. So, that concept has been introduced. Third concept has been introduced is market making. So, the market making needs to be done for 3 years by the merchant bankers. It's the responsibility of the merchant banker. The reason for doing the market making is to create liquidity on the counter. So, unless until there is a liquidity in the counter, it will not attract the interest of the investors. So, that was the reason to create liquidity.
But we are seeing very thin volumes.
Yeah, see, SME platform, if you see, it's more from a unlocking the value of the company, and more like foreign investors invest into this company, they remain for longer time. So it is from a investment angle, not from a trading angle. So investors remain with the company for longer tenure, for 1 year or 2 years. At the same time, we have also given the option for the promoters to migrate on the main board of the stock exchange. So after 2 years on the SME platform, by 2/3 non-promoters approval, these companies can migrate to the main board, subject to their post-issue paid-up capital crossing 10 crores.
Oh.
So after 2 years, if the post-issue paid-up capital crosses 10 crores, with 2/3 non-promoters approval, they can migrate to the main board of the stock exchange. It's a very simple and a smooth process.
Okay.
So these 2 years are there for the promoters also to understand the capital market, understand that it is more on the profit generation and wealth creation thing that needs to be done, and also the corporate governance and transparency comes into the company, and the investors who gets associated with this company can also help the companies in the longer run. So that was the main reason for this SME platform to have this concept of lot size, this market making, and all those processes.
So these you want to maintain, this lot size will remain in principle like this only, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
we want that it should remain like this, so that informed investors should remain into the company.
And so you don't want the retail people to enter into these SME listings?
See, our suggestions have been, there is a lot of deliberation on this aspect, but what we have observed in last 5 years that it has been a successful, process and the systems with less slippages. Okay. So it is running very successfully, and more companies are coming onto this SME platform, but still deliberation is going on.
And I have observed one more thing from your words. There is no SEBI here. No. SEBI is not involved in any of these processes.
Yes, SEBI, the way SEBI has framed the guidelines, they have entrusted the responsibility on the stock exchange to give the approval to these companies, and the prospectus will be sent to SEBI for their information. SEBI is not going to give any observation. Okay. So the guideline that SEBI has framed on 18th May 2010, they have entrusted all the responsibility. So
you are the regulator and also the listing exchange.
Yes, we are the regulator, we are the listing exchange, we are the approving authority.
Okay. And while approving these issues, you also take any qualitative issues into consideration, or whether the issue price is justified or not, or something like that?
We ask the question. See, the merchant banker has to take all the responsibility. Okay, they have to justify, and then investors have to take the call. So of course, merchant bankers at the time of preparing the prospectus, they justify the price. And when we also take the interview, we ask these questions, and then the merchant bankers justify all those things.
Okay. And there is also NSE in the picture, your competitor. So how is NSE SME versus vis-a-vis the BSE SME? See,
as far as BSE is concerned, we have taken the lead, understanding the importance of small and medium enterprises in the economy. We have worked very hard, and that's the reason that we are far ahead. We are having almost 80% market share in this segment. Irrespective of BSE and NSE, our main roadmap is to create a atmosphere whereby the SME companies should get listed onto the stock exchange and create wealth for all the stakeholders, and bring employment, because as you know, small and medium enterprises are the biggest employment generator. So our job is to ensure that these SMEs companies should become big, and they should provide more and more employment.
So in that direction, you already have 183 listed. So what is the target like, say in the next 5 years course of time?
See, we have already 213 prospectus filed onto the SME platform. If you ask me that how many companies we are looking in 5 years, my target is very ambitious. We want that almost 2,000 companies should get listed. Oh. And that's why we are trying to include all the stakeholders. Initially we have started with 1 or 2 merchant bankers on this exchange. Now there are 20 merchant bankers who are working on this. Prior to SME, prior to having this SME platform launched, these merchant bankers were not acting as merchant bankers. So they have been newly created. Besides that, there are many charter accountants whom we are trying to bring in fold. There are many other advisors, whom we are trying to bring in this whole ambit. So we are trying that if all these things fall in place, then to get 2,000 companies listed in another 5 years will not be a difficult task.
How is South faring in this? How many companies are there from South India and from this part of the country, Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh?
It's a very the response has not been till now good. So from the south part of the India, we have seen almost around 20 companies listed on.
Maybe lack of awareness, or
we have tried to create a lot of awareness in this side also. But I think that with the time to come, slowly we are seeing, because just 2 months back, Tanvi Foods got listed from Telangana. We come to know that there are few companies which have already got their mandate signed with the merchant banker. The merchant bankers are working on it. So maybe in another couple of months, we will see another 5-6 companies approaching to our exchange.
Good. How is the track record so far? How many companies have got more than, say, 100 crores of market cap like that?
See,
what is the topmost company's market capitalization?
See, if you see the topmost company's market capitalization, the one which got listed and which got migrated also, it was 500 crores. Then there was one company whose market capitalization touches to almost around 3,000, 4,000 crores. So, we have seen a lot of transformation. On SME platform, we have seen the companies, when they got listed, their turnover was 50 crores. In another 3 years, they have touched 100 crores. The profit get doubled or tripled like that. So there have been a lot of transformation that has happened on this SME exchange. And that's why you have seen the index faring so well.
The index has given, I think, 53% return.
Around 54% return. Around 54% return.
Well, BSE IPO has given, just index has given 40% return.
36% return the Sensex has given. But in fact, the reason behind this is that SME was looking for a small capital which can, take them forward. They were looking for a small funds, and small things that if they can be put in place, then you can see a lot of transformation happening. So very good people start getting connected with these companies once they get exposure, and then we have seen a lot of change in the mindset of the promoters, the way they were working pre-IPO listing. And the way they were working post-listing scenario, it has got totally changed.
How is the compliance from that side? They are very
now
accurate.
The post-listing compliance have improved a lot. Now one thing on which I would like to put an emphasis is that on SME platform, the post-listing compliances are also very less in compared to main board companies. Here we have got half-yearly compliances.
They don't have to declare quarterly?
They don't have to declare quarterly results. So they have to declare half-yearly results.
That's one convenience they have.
Convenience they have. Another thing is that half-yearly results also don't need to be audited.
Unaudited.
So with unaudited, with limited review, they can file with the exchange, and yearly it should be audited.
Good. And Ajay Thakurji, you are from Bihar.
Right.
So Bihar is settled in Mumbai.
Yes.
So where were you earlier prior to the SME head?
I was heading, in fact, I started my career with a stockholding corporation, and after that I had worked for a brief period in Vadodara Stock Exchange. In '96, I joined Bombay Stock Exchange as head of the arbitration. Then I have headed equity derivatives and tried to launch derivatives what BSE has launched. And then I have been given the responsibility of launching this.
Academically, what's your qualification?
No, I am Master of Science.
So, what about your family?
Mother is there, 2 kids. One has done the 10th, she has secured 93% marks. And wife, she is having her own business.
So Ajay ji, now the challenge comes from the home front itself. Your wife is also an entrepreneur running a service sector business successfully. So you have to convince her to get listed on your SME platform, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a long way to go. I think still she is in the very early stage of the business. And to manage the family, and as daughter has gone to 10th, and not just she has completed her 10th. Yes, completed her 10th. So last 2 years she was very busy in mentoring her children.
Okay.
But later on we see that.
But overcoming all these hurdles and challenges, we hope maybe the 200th company should be from the home front.
No, it's a long way to go. It's
long way to go. What do you do during your leisure time?
At present, most of my time I am contributing to ensure that more and more SME companies should come on the SME platform. And you know, the country is looking for you know, a lot of entrepreneurs which can create employment, because we have got a huge population. In coming 5 years, we have to give employment to 17 crore people. So unless until we have a strong, vibrant small and medium companies, we will not be able to ensure so much employment.
So we hope your ambitions will get fulfilled, and very soon you will reach that 2000 companies mark that you are aiming at.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay ji. Thanks for coming here. So adi BSE-SME head Ajay Thakur ji చెప్తున్న అంశాలు. సో చాలా కంపెనీలు SME రంగంలో పనిచేస్తున్న లక్షలాది కంపెనీల్లో కనీసం కొన్నిటినైనా లిస్టింగ్ దశకు తీసుకురావాలని BSE-SME ప్రయత్నిస్తోంది. సో వాళ్ళ ప్రయత్నాలు సఫలీకృతం కావాలని ఆశిస్తున్నాం. సో SMEలు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వీళ్ళందరికీ కూడా ఒక మంచి చక్కటి ఆపర్చునిటీ వాళ్ళ ముందు ఉంది. లిస్ట్ చేసుకొని వాళ్ళ కంపెనీస్ని మార్కెట్ నుంచి నిధులు సమీకరించుకొని కార్యకలాపాలు కొనసాగించుకునే అవకాశం. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ది స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. కీప్ వాచింగ్ TV5.